Hello everybody, my name is Courtney. Welcome back to my channel. So I have gotten quite a few requests recently to do full photocard collection videos. So I'm going to do a video for all my different binders. So I'm going to have this video be about BTS, my next one's going to be about Luna, and then I guess I'll also do a video for kind of like my random collection. But let's go ahead and get started with BTS. So I have gotten a new binder recently. You might notice that I have decorated with different BT21 and BTS stickers. I'm trying to use some of the ones that I've gotten recently in some photocard purchases as well, so I will probably eventually cover the whole front, but for right now this is what I have. So let's go ahead and open it. Okay, so when you open it, this is what you see. So over here I do have a few photo cards, I guess, that came with my Lights CD. I don't know if these are official or if these came from like the seller, so I just kind of have them right here. And then we get started with the actual photo cards. So for BTS, I do collect OT7, so that means I collect all the members plus all the group cards. Let me sit down. So this is BTS's second album, so this is Oh Are You Late 2. The first album they had was Too Cool for School, which is the album that came with this postcard. So they did not have photo cards for the first album. So that is why we start with Oh Are You Late 2. So this is Oh Are You Late 2, all the members plus the group card. For this album, originally I pulled Jin when I had bought the album. But then I got the rest of them, obviously. And then let's move on. So here are the backs. And then we come to School Love Affair. So for this album, I pulled Yoongi originally, which, if I can find it. So I pulled Yoongi originally, he's right here. I ripped the individual card off of the group card, because when I pulled him originally, I didn't know you were kind of supposed to keep them attached. So I ended up having to repurchase his card, but that's okay. And then here are the rest of them. This is the only time they ever did these weird long cards, which I don't mind weird photo cards in general. The only thing I don't like about this is because BTS is a 7-member group, I'm left with this sheet that just has Jungkook on it. So I have these 2 empty spaces. So it kind of drives my OCD crazy, but other than that, I don't mind having weird shaped photo cards, honestly. I think it's kind of interesting. But yeah, that is School Love Affair, all the different members. And then we get to Dark and Wild. So I pulled Jin for Dark and Wild, and then I bought the rest of them, obviously. I think I also pulled this group card. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this, the vertical group card was the one I pulled, but I'm not 100% sure. Dark and Wild was kind of annoying because it came with 10 cards, so they have a 10th card back here, another group card, which means I had to put something on the back or start a whole new sheet, and I did not want to start a whole new sheet just for one card, so I'm not super into the way that this is laid out, but it is what it is. And then we get to, I think, my favorite photo card design they've ever done. So this is HYYH Part 1. For this one, I pulled Jin for both versions of the album, so I had double Jin. That's something they did in between HYYH Part 1 and all the way up to You Never Walk Alone. Even though they had multiple versions of the album, they only had one photo card set. So that means you would pull doubles sometimes when you got both versions or all the versions of the album, which it is what it is. But yeah, so I pulled Jin twice for this album. I really like this photo card set because you get 9 individual photos with each one, which is cool. I like the square shape as well. And then here are the other ones. And then this one also, there was a group card as well. And then we get to HYYH Part 2. So for this one, I pulled, I believe, Jungkook and Namjoon were my 2 pulls. This one was easy to complete. The hardest card to find was this group card. I actually ended up having to buy the album because someone was selling the album with the card, but no one was selling the card separately. So If you guys are interested in collecting any kind of photo cards, really, sometimes you will have to like buy the album with the photo card and then just resell the album separately. It's not too hard to do that. You can pretty much easily sell the albums, especially if you like discount them pretty significantly, if they don't come with a photo card since you took it. But yeah, HYH Part 2. This is also one of the only cards where they have like square corners. Normally they round the corners. I don't know why they didn't this time. These cards also have signatures on the back, which is really interesting. I like all their cards that do this. They have quite a few, I believe, that have these signatures, which I like. I think it's interesting. And then we get into then we get into Young Forever. Young Forever, I think, is my favorite album. That's kind of, yeah, I would say Young Forever, it's definitely top 2. Like, I really like Young Forever and I really like Love Yourself Tear. Those are like my top 2 albums from them. So we'll say it's my favorite. Right now I'm liking it a little bit more than Tear, but they kind of go back and forth. Anyway, I think for this album, I know I pulled Jungkook. And I can't remember, because I have both versions. I can't remember who the other version I pulled was. It might have been Taeyang. I might have to go back and look like at my old videos, because I do have videos of me like getting all these cards in. I know I had Jungkook because this was the very first time and one of the only times that I've pulled Jungkook was Young Forever and HYH Part 2. I think are the 2 only times I've ever pulled them. So I remember that pretty vividly. I can't remember who the other one was. I think it might have been Taeyang, but I'm not willing to bet my life on that. But anyway, these are the cards for HYH HYH Young Forever. Again, they have signatures on the back. These are the cards that came with the first press of Young Forever. So they don't come with the albums anymore. Like if you would buy Young Forever off of whatever, like Big Hits website or anything like that, you won't get these cards. But they are pretty easy to find on eBay. I found all of them like within one day of looking on eBay, and they were all pretty reasonable. I think for these cards, I think the most expensive ones were maybe like $40 maybe, which I mean honestly isn't that bad for like a first press like limited edition type card. So I had to buy all of these because obviously I bought Young Forever after they were done printing these cards, so I bought all of these and they were not too difficult to find, which was nice. And then we get into Wings. So Wings is the first album that had 4 versions. Again, there's only just one set of photo cards, so I ended up pulling Yoongi, I pulled Hobie twice, and then I pulled the group card. So I had to get, what is that, 5 cards? Yeah, so I had to get 5 cards to make up the set. Again, these are all pretty easy to find. For the most part, BTS cards are not difficult to find, especially album cards, because all of the albums are in print. So it's really easy for people whose like whole shtick on eBay is like selling photo cards to get them and sell them. So for the most part for BTS cards, I would say you probably will spend maybe anywhere from like 10 to like the high end. I would say for most of these album cards it's like $20, and that's pretty unusual. Generally I would say they're like $15 is kind of like the average for the photo cards. So it's not too bad. It depends on how you want to collect as well. So like I collect OT7, but there's a ton of people that only collect their bias, and if you only collect your bias, then it's really easy, honestly. Like it's not too hard. Moving on. So now we come to You Never Walk Alone. You Never Walk Alone is one of my favorite albums as well. Spring Day is like my favorite BTS song. So Spring, and this is also the album that like kind of started my photo card collecting journey. So for this album, I pulled double Jin. So I pulled Jin in both versions of the album, and I was fine. Like this was way before I started collecting photo cards or anything like that. So I was just kind of like sitting on these 2 Jin cards. But then I saw, it was either a tweet or I can't remember where I saw it. But someone wanted to trade, they pulled double Jungkook, so they wanted to trade Jungkook for like any other member. So I had double Jin, so I was like, okay, like let's trade. So I messaged them and we set up the trade. But it took like forever to get to my house because I think their card actually ended up getting returned. The Jungkook card they sent me ended up getting returned to like their house because I think they had insufficient stamps on it. So I was kind of worried. I was like, oh, like, am I gonna get screwed? Like, I need to get a replacement photo card. So then I went online and I went on eBay, and then this is kind of when I realized that like this was like a whole business where people like sell photo cards online. So I ended up buying the Jimin card, and then my Jungkook card that I traded that girl for, it ended up arriving because like she wasn't trying to scam me. She just like didn't put enough stamps on it. So that ended up arriving. So then I had like these 3 cards, and I realized like, oh, like you can buy photo cards on eBay. So that's when I was like, oh, like maybe I should do this. So then I got like sucked in, and I've been here ever since. But I've only been collecting not even for a year, I would say. I started maybe in February or March. I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably February or March is when I started collecting, and like you can see, I have the entire Korean discography like photo card. So like I was saying earlier, it's really easy to collect BTS. But yeah, that's kind of, I guess, my story on how I got into photo card collecting. Anyway, this is You Never Walk Alone. These are some of my favorite cards. I really like this Yoongi card a lot, and I really like this Namjoon card a lot. Yeah, and then again, this was another instance where the group card was pretty difficult to find. So I think I had to wait quite a while for this one. Like I had completed all the members, but it took me forever to find the group card. And then we get into the Love Yourself era. So the Love Yourself Her era, this was the first time that they had multiple versions of photo cards for one album. So each version had its own set of photo cards, which I like because it means you don't get doubles. Like I would get doubles quite frequently with their old style, but it also means you have to like collect way more cards. So instead of only having like 7, 8, whatever cards, now you'll have what, like 38. So obviously it means a lot more collecting, which is fine. So for Love Yourself Her, I'm trying to remember which cards I pulled originally. I'm pretty sure I pulled the Yoongi card and the Taehyung card. So Love Yourself Her was also the first time that they sold on Amazon.com. So what I ended up doing, I think, for Love Yourself Her, Tear, and Answer was I would buy like the 4 album set from whatever K-pop website, and then I would buy one version on Amazon to help with Billboard. So for a lot of these I got 2 cards from one set. So I pulled, I believe, Yoongi's and Taehyung's cards, so I had 2 copies of the L version. And then for the O version, I'm pretty sure for the O version I pulled Yoongi as well. So this is the only card I'm still missing for the Korean discography is the Taehyung version O. I found a seller on eBay that was selling it quite a while ago from Australia. I bought it. It never arrived, so I opened a case and I got like my money back for it because she never had tracking information. And then I have bought it again from another seller online, and it took them, they were like out of town, so it took them forever to ship it. Like it literally took them, I think, 3 weeks to ship it. And I still haven't gotten it, so I'm still kind of waiting for this Taehyung version O card. But other than that, I have all the other cards. But I did pull Yoongi, I think, in this version originally. And then the V version, I think I pulled Jimin. I might have to look back at some of my old videos. I think I pulled Jimin though, originally. And then E version, this is my favorite version from Love Yourself Her. I pulled Taehyung, I want to say, for this version. I really like this Namjoon card and this Yoongi card, but this just overall is my favorite version from this album. And then we get to Love Yourself Tear. So like I was saying earlier, Love Yourself Tear is one of my favorite albums. I don't really like the Y version though of the album. I don't really like the Y like photo book or the Y photo cards. I think Jimin's photo card is good and Jungkook's card is good, but I don't know, like these are not my favorite cards. For this album, I believe I pulled Hobie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I pulled J-Hope for this version of the album. For the O version, I really don't remember. I think it might have been Yoongi. Or maybe Jin? It was one of these up here. I think it might have been Yoongi, but I can't remember 100%. This card was really hard to find. Taeyoung's O version card for Love Yourself Tier. It took me quite a few weeks because the only seller I could find was this person in Japan that wanted $50 for it, which is like an insane price for an in-print photo card. So I was like, no way, like I'm not gonna pay that. So I had to wait. I think I ended up buying it. I can't remember if I bought it off eBay or if I bought it off like a Mercari or Depop seller. I don't remember, but I ended up finding it and it was fine. It was like $20. But the person that wanted $50, I was like, you are on something. Anyway, then we get into the U version. U version, I'm pretty sure I had Hobie. I pulled Hobie a lot, I think, for Love Yourself Tier. So I'm pretty sure I pulled him. And then R version. For R version, I pulled, I believe, Yoongi, and then I also pulled the group photo card. So I think R version was the one that I got like 2 copies of. So I'm pretty sure I pulled Yoongi and the group card. It was nice to pull the group card because that means I didn't have to buy it after the fact. And these lenticular cards for Love Yourself Tier and Love Yourself Answer aren't too expensive. They're maybe like $30-ish. But the Love Yourself Her like lenticular card, I was trying to buy that to like complete the set, but it's like $250, and I'm like not gonna spend that much money on a lenticular card that is like, I don't really care. I'm just not gonna do that. So maybe I'll do it eventually, but like for right now, I'm fine not having that. But yeah, moving on. We come to Love Yourself Answer. This is the S version. For this, I think I pulled Jimin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I pulled Jimin for this one. And then E version, I think I had Yoongi. I pull Yoongi and Jin quite a lot, and then I would say my next most common ones would be Hobie and Taeyoung. I hardly ever pulled Jimin, and I've only pulled Jungkook like twice. So these are like my 2 most common ones, but like recently I feel like I've pulled quite a lot of Hobie and Taeyoung. And then L version, honestly I have no recollection of who I pulled for the L version. I think it might have been Jin and Taeyoung. L version might have been the one where I had 2 copies. But I really don't remember because the L version is like the most forgettable version for me. Like I don't care about the L version, like the photo book or the photo cards. F version though is my favorite from Love Yourself Answer. I really like the little hearts on their faces. I think it's super cute. For this one, I'm pretty sure I pulled Taeyoung's photo card. These are all pretty easy to find though. These ones were a little bit more expensive though for Love Yourself Answer. I think in general, these were like the most expensive cards from this album. But I think it's just because they're cute, so everyone likes them. And then we come into Map of the Soul Persona. So I got really lucky. So Map of the Soul Persona, I bought the 4 album set off of the Big Hit USA like vendor, like whoever they linked in their tweet for the pre-order. Because it wasn't like the Big Hit USA shop, and it wasn't like the iBig Hit website. It was like the Sony Orchard website. Anyway, I bought the 4 album set from them. But I got lucky because in my version 1 album, I got 2 photo cards. So this was like an accident, I guess. I've never had this happen to me before or since. But I got both Hobie and Jimin's photo cards in 1 album. So that was nice. I pretty much got 1 for free. So it made collecting a little bit easier. But I really like these photo cards. I think they're really cute. I think version 1 is my favorite version from Love Yourself, or not Love Yourself, from Map of the Soul Persona. So I was happy to get 2 cards for that one. And then moving on, we have version 2. Version 2, I can't really remember who I pulled. It might have been Jen. I don't really remember. It might have been Jen. And then we have version 3. Version 3, I'm pretty sure I pulled Hobie. But again, I can't 100% remember. Version 3 is, I think, my least favorite version in terms of the photo book. But I still like it. It's just kind of like a little bit more boring than their other ones. And then we get to version 4. So version 4 was like the Dionysus theme one. Who did I pull for version 4? It might have been Jen again. Or maybe Taeyoung. I don't really remember. It was either Jen or Taeyoung, I'm pretty sure. And then we get to the postcards. So for the postcards, I pulled Namjoon, Jimin, and Taeyoung. I think I pulled double Namjoon. I ended up actually sending it to a girl on Twitter. This was before I was like into collecting, so I just sent it to her because she was like, oh, I forget who she got as her postcard, but she was like, oh, I really want Namjoon, and I had 2 Namjoon cards, so I was like, whatever, like, I'll send it to you. So I sent it to her, and I didn't get anything back, which was fine. I didn't expect anything back. But anyway, so that's why I only got 3. And then I bought the rest of them. These were really easy to find. These postcards are super cheap on eBay. They're like $5. So they were really easy. Yeah, but they're really cute. I really like these postcards actually a lot. And then we get to BTS World. So BTS World, I actually have this Hobie BTS like double-sided card. I'm pretty sure it came in the mail the other day. I just need to open it. I'm waiting to do like a haul. So I'm waiting, actually probably gonna wait until next week when TXT's album comes in the mail to do the haul for that. So that might take a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. But these are the double-sided cards that came with BTS World. I originally wasn't going to collect them, but then I kind of thought about it, and I figured BTS World does technically count as a Korean release, so I might as well collect them. The ones I pulled originally were Namjoon and Taeyoung. So I pulled Namjoon in the like original version, and then Taeyoung in the limited version. I don't know if I'm going to keep them facing this side or if I'm going to flip them and have them facing this side. I haven't decided yet. For right now, they're all just going to face the other way. And then we get into the Memories of 2017 DVD. So for this one, I pulled Namjoon. These cards weren't too hard to find, and they weren't too expensive. Like, they were kind of expensive, but I think the most expensive one was maybe $50 maybe, which isn't too bad. These cards are all out of print. Like, the DVD is out of print, so you can't buy it anymore, so I wasn't too mad about the price for these. And then we get into the Memories of 2018 cards. So I actually pulled Jungkook for this, which was like a blessing. Jungkook cards are always the most expensive and they're always the hardest to find. The Magnite line cards in general are like the most expensive and the hardest to find, but like Jungkook in particular. I pulled Jungkook, so that was pretty much the reason that I was like, okay, maybe I will actually collect the rest of them. Because his cards are what are preventing me from collecting Love Yourself Europe and Love Yourself New York full sets, because the price, I think, for the New York card, I've seen it on eBay for like $120, and the price of his Europe card is like $90, which, like, no. Like, everyone else is anywhere from like $30 to $60, but his are crazy, so, yeah. And then we get into the Army Bomb version 3 cards, so the 7 cards that came with the Army Bomb, so they're not that exciting. And then we get into kind of like my random like DVD etc cards. So I guess we'll start with up here. So this is the School Love Affair Special Edition. So I bought this after the fact, like secondhand on eBay. I bought it with the Namjoon card, like on purpose. Typically when you buy the School Love Affair Special Edition, you get to choose which photo card you want. And for the most part, the sellers price differently based on which member you want as the photo card. Typically, Jin or Hobie are the cheapest ones, and then the most expensive one is typically Jungkook, Jimin, or V. I got Namjoon. Namjoon's one of my biases, so I was like, I'm gonna get Namjoon. Typically, I'll get Jimin because Jimin's like my alt bias. But I think the Jimin card was like significantly more expensive than the Namjoon card, so I was like, I like Namjoon as well, so I'll get Namjoon. I typically, I guess I'll talk about that in a little bit when I get to them, but I typically will buy the cheaper member, like the cheapest member, if there's like a significant difference in price. But if the prices are within like $5 to $15 of each other based on member, I'll buy Jimin usually. But moving on, so we have the third muster card. Again, I bought the second hand off eBay, so I bought it with the Jimin card. And then over here we have the Memories of 2016 card. This one, so the Memories 2016 did not have individual member photo cards. It had all group or unit shots. So they had, I believe, 3 cards from like Young Forever era, and then they had 3 cards, I believe, from Wings era. I like Young Forever more than I like Wings, so I got a Young Forever card. I'm thinking about collecting these, but it seems like a hassle, and they're kind of expensive, the cards are, so I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, like whether I want to collect the memories, because like the completionist in me wants to, because I have 2017 and 2018, but like my budget says no, you know, so I'm kind of like on the fence about it right now. And then we have the Wings Tour DVD, or I think it's the Wings Tour in Seoul 2017 something. It's got a really long title. But anyway, this is Jimin. Again, I selected Jimin because the prices were like within $10 of each other depending on members, so I was like, I'll get Jimin. And then we come to the Love Yourself in Seoul. So this is the Blu-ray card. The very first couple times I bought like DVD type content from BTS, I bought the Blu-ray. I don't really know why. The Blu-rays are more expensive and they come out like after the DVD, so they'll come out like a month after the DVDs come out. So now I don't buy the Blu-rays like ever because of that. Also, the Blu-rays come with different like content sometimes. Like the DVD, like the video content's the same, but like I'm pretty sure the DVD version of Love Yourself in Seoul came with like an individual member photo card, but the Blu-ray just came with this group card and something else I can't remember. So it comes with like different content, and I like the DVD content generally more, so that's another reason that I never buy Blu-rays, but I did buy the Love Yourself in Seoul Blu-ray. And then we get into the Love Yourself in Europe and Love Yourself in New York. I want to say that's right. Yeah. So Europe and New York. I pulled Yoongi for both of these, which was kind of interesting. Like I was saying earlier, I kind of want to collect OT7 for these, but at the same time, the New York card for Jungkook is like crazy, so I'm not going to bother right now. And then we get into the game code cards from BTS World. I also have Jimin, so I have Namjoon, Yoongi, and Jimin. I'm not going to collect these because I don't want to, but I'm going to keep them for right now, I guess. But yeah, and then down here we have, these are some of the fifth muster group or unit photo cards. I originally purchased these because I really like this Jimin and Jungkook card quite a lot, and then I was like, well, I might as well get the full set. So then I got the Yoongi and Jin one, and then the Namjoon, Taeyoung, and Hobie one. Both of these were like really reasonable. This was like $30 and this is like $25. This one was like $50, but I really liked it, so I bought it. Again, I don't think $50 is like it's a lot, but it's not crazy for a like special event photo card like these are. And then we get into one of my last pages. So here we have the Yoongi School Love Affair card I was talking about earlier. And then over here we have HYYH on Stage, the photo card that came with that. So I bought this DVD secondhand, again, off eBay. Jin was the cheapest member by like $20 or $25, so I bought him. And then over here we have the HYH on Stage epilogue with Hobie. Again, I think he was the cheapest member this time, so I bought his version. I've thought about collecting like OT7 for both of these because HYH on Stage and HYH on Stage the epilogue are like two of my favorite concerts BTS has ever done. So I thought about collecting all the members for this, but it's quite expensive, honestly. The cards are all like $100 or something, like by themselves, so I don't really want to do that right now. But yeah, moving on. So here is the Too Cool for School postcard. I don't know if there's multiple versions of this. I don't really care if there are. This is the one that came with my album, so this is the one I have. And then we get into some live photos. So I went to the BTS exhibition in Seoul last September, so like a year ago. I went to Seoul like on vacation, and one of the things I did was I went to the exhibition they had there. So at the exhibition, I bought one live photo for each member, plus I bought a second one for Jimin, because like I said, he's my alt bias, so I put them in here just to keep them safe. So here they are. So I just bought my favorite one for each member, and then I bought two for Jimin, like I said. I really like this Taeyoung photo, like a lot. Like I think it's really pretty. But yeah, here they all are. Okay, and then finishing up here, we have the clear film strips that came with the Map of the Soul Persona album. We also down here have the lenticular ticket that came with BTS World. And then finally we have the, I don't really know what these are. Like, they're hard plastic. It's not paper. They came with the BTS World Limited edition, so I just kind of have them back here. The reason I have them back here and not like further up front is because they're quite heavy, so they fly out of the plastic sleeves like all the time when I flip them. So I put them back here so I don't ever really have to flip them. And then finally we have this little standee from You Never Walk Alone. I don't really know what to do with it, so it's just kind of sitting back here until I figure it out. But yeah, that is my entire BTS photo card collection. I think I am pretty much done with what I want to collect for BTS for right now. Obviously until they come back and release their next album. I'm pretty much caught up. I have been kind of like toying with the idea of collecting a couple different like DVD sets, but they're all kind of expensive. So like my heart wants to do it, but my budget is saying no. So that's kind of where I am right now. And then I do know for one thing, I will never collect like the tour or muster cards. They're quite a hassle, it seems like, and they're quite expensive. You know, the ones that are like 1 out of 8 for each member. It just seems kind of like a hassle, and for that I think I would have to only pick one member to collect, and I don't really want to do that, so I don't think I'm ever going to collect those. But I will keep collecting the Korean releases as they come out, and then I'll probably think about collecting the DVDs. But that is what I have for BTS. Stay tuned for part 2 when I do Luna, and I will see you guys later.